Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Can I just say that haircut is the exact one I tried to get and it didn't not work out for me.
Stop. I did this. I've been getting so many compliments on my haircut lately, and I do it myself. Like, I just changed my hairstyle recently, and I do this
Yeah.
myself.
Even the back?
Yeah. But the
Oh
back is a
wow.
mess. The back is a whole mess. You don't see that part for a reason.
Well, the front looks good. I think it works because your hair is like just fluffy enough that the bangs, they have volume and everything. Mine's like flat.
Thanks. Sick. I'm sure you can figure something out. Just try and do it yourself. It always works.
Honestly, yeah. Like if I just get a curling iron out, I'm sure it'll be a-okay.
Yeah.
So, to start us off, would you like to give a little bit of an introduction of yourself and what kind of music you make?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Cass, but I go by Mour or Beats by Mour. I'm a music producer based in Toronto. I make R&B hip hop type music. I really am enjoying making pop right now. But I think my bread and butter is I always say I make driving music. So when you listen to my stuff, it kind of makes you want to go for a drive for sure.
Yeah, amazing. And would you mind lifting the mic a little bit? Sorry, our audio is a little bit quiet.
Oh, is
Or
it? Hang on. Is that a bit better?
that's amazing. Thank you.
Okay, cool. No worries. Sick.
Okay, perfect. So, how did you come to be associated with this program that is Women in the Studio?
I applied. Actually, someone from a previous year had sent me the application and told me to apply for it because they really, really enjoyed the program. So I had applied kind of not thinking that I would get it because I don't know. We always like as artists, we always have self-doubt. And I just kind of didn't think that this was maybe something for me. But I applied for it and here I am.
Amazing. And you're enjoying it so far?
I love it. Yeah. I've met like even just from the people I've met, not to mention like the one-on-one mentoring, even from just the people, the women that I've met through this, it's definitely amazing so far.
Oh, I didn't know you get one-on-one mentoring. So that just kind of helps with your songwriting, with your recording, like all of the above.
Yeah, so it's one-on-one mentoring. There's personal branding mentoring, marketing, production, engineering, all one-on-one mentoring with somebody that's like an expert from the industry. It's really great.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge out of those for you?
What out of those different topics?
Yeah. Are there any you're like less experienced in that you're like, oh, this is gonna push me?
Yeah, marketing and branding for sure.
Marketing, branding.
Yeah, that's like, you for that it's hard because like I don't want to feel annoying. I know I have to promote myself and I know I have to do it to a certain extent, but it's hard to not feel like you're being annoying to the people that like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do they give you kind of like a guideline of you have to post this much on your social media, or is it kind of a bit more free flowing?
Yeah, no, it's super free. Yeah, it's nothing like well, I mean, it all depends on like I guess the algorithm for Instagram as well, right? Like it's just kind of pleasing the algorithm.
Yeah, that's true. No more chronological posts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't get that anymore. So, from a very young age, you were drawn to music producing, and so how did this passion kind of arise?
For production itself, I actually had a friend who started making beats on GarageBand on his MacBook when we were, I don't know, 15, 16. And I had already played in bands and I was playing in like locally in Oshawa where I grew up. Um, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed songwriting. I played guitar. I really loved that. But seeing him be able to compose the entire track like on his computer, that to me was like amazing because I didn't have to rely on a drummer and a bassist. I could do everything myself. So I think that was the first like experience of me seeing production and being like, oh, that's what I want to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What does that friend think of you kind of making it into a career now?
Actually, we had a falling out a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
For like kind of because of that reason.
Oh no.
A little bit. Like I was trying to help him and being like, hey man, I'm kind of making moves here. You can do these things as well. Like I can help you get into certain rooms and whatever. And he kind of took it offensively and, you know, kind of felt like I was bragging and all this stuff. So, but it's okay. It's for the best. I think it's sometimes you have to shed some things that you don't necessarily need in your life, you know?
Yeah, of course. Can I ask about the cat?
This is my buddy Colton. This is actually my partner's cat.
Okay.
Um, my partner actually just moved to Korea for a year to go teach.
Mhm.
So it's me, him, and he needs attention. He needs very much attention. So I have to constantly cater to him. He's a good boy.
That's crazy. Korea, that's so far, but that's an amazing experience, and I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
have the time of their life.
Yeah, she's having a good time so far. You know, it's been like 2 weeks. It's still fresh. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think it'll be great for her. She'll have a great
Oh yeah,
time.
of course. I hope she likes spicy food.
She doesn't, and she's vegan, so it's gonna be so difficult for her.
Yeah, I think I've heard that spicy food is their central.
Yeah,
Even if you ask for mild, it's still very spicy.
for sure.
Okay, so often remixing and music for nightlife are wrongly accused of being juvenile and rebellious. And how do you rebuke these stereotypes?
Oh my gosh. That's a really good question. Um, it's funny that you asked that because recently I've been thinking this, like sometimes I'll write something, I'll be like, is that juvenile? But I don't think that, I mean, do we really ever grow up inside? You know what I mean? In a sense where like you kind of hear a song that is like catered to that crowd and you still love it, whether it's a guilty pleasure, quote unquote, or something that you outwardly like. You can call it what you want, but the facts are still the facts. Like it's still a good song, and everybody wants that youthful feeling still. Everybody wants to feel youthful, especially in the summer.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad you thought that was a good question. I was kind of like, I hope this doesn't come off as offensive.
No, it's a good question. I like that question. That's a good one. Yeah.
Perfect. My next question. Could you tell us a little bit about your equipment setup and how does the magic happen, especially on your newest single, Without You?
Um, my equipment setup is I use a machine. I use Logic Pro X on a Mac desktop, which I'm switching to laptop very soon. I'm a little nervous about, but that's okay. Um, I use a Native Instruments machine, which is my beat pad. And I also just have like a standard 49 key keyboard. Um, I think my latest single I actually made with my partner. We made that together in this room. And I think having the studio, having my setup in my home definitely helps with my music production a lot. I Sometimes it's a lot because you need to change the scenery every now and then, and you don't necessarily always want to work in your home. But I'm also very much a homebody, so being at home and having my setup here very close to me is something that I really enjoy. And doing that song, my latest single, Without You, with my partner Sonia, again, it was just easy. You wake up or you finish eating dinner, you come in here and you try and figure out the rest of the song. So I'm really thankful that I can have my setup at my house.
I imagine that also eliminates any plausibility for excuses because you're like, nope, I don't have to commute anywhere. My
Yeah.
studio is right there. Time to be productive.
Yeah, that could be a good thing and a bad thing too.
Yeah, true. Also, because then you're like, you're home, but I've heard that a lot of independent artists sometimes feel guilt for not being productive at every minute of the day.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
I feel like me and my friend who's going to move in with me shortly, he's been having a problem with that lately too. He's like, "Oh, I didn't do anything today." But like I think we all feel like that. That's okay, It's okay to not do anything in a day.
You need those days just to kind of have me time. That is doing something, taking care of yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly. That's great. My next question. So your music is chill, atmospheric, but still has an energetic beat. How do you channel your own personality into your music? Is it a direct extension of yourself or more the opposite?
It's definitely the opposite. I feel like I'm a very uplifting, positive person. I try to stay happy. I try to make everybody around me like kind of feel good. I always want to be in in a positive mindset. Negativity just doesn't, it's not productive. But my music is very atmospheric and dark and, almost sad in a sense. But I feel like that's always been me. I've always loved sad music. I was an emo kid growing up. Um, I gravitate towards a slow song. Like I'll play a slow song in a car full of buddies and they're like, "What are you doing?" You know, the sonically, that's what pleases me. So I think that's what comes out in my music. Often people meet me and they're like, oh, wow, like I didn't expect you to be like this. Or they hear my music and they're like, I didn't expect that at all. So, which is a compliment.
I get that a lot too. I love like the slow beats, the slow songs. I like to say, I'm outside of the box, but honestly, like people tell me, they're like, that's a stereotype of being LGBT. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm a little bit of stereotype.
Yeah, I fit that dude then 100%.
Oh yeah, of
I'll
course.
take it. I'll take it.
Nothing wrong with being a little bit inside the box.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, you have worked with some highly respected members in the genre. So Dan Lombardi and Anthony Johnson. So how was that? And how does collaborating compare to composing solely?
With 5-piece with Dan, we haven't collaborated as much as he is like a mentor almost for me. He has been a person who's kind of guided me to the point of where I'm at today. With him, he was kind of my introduction to taking production seriously. I went to one of his classes for mixing and mastering for engineering. And it kind of showed me that what I am doing could be possibly become my career. So Dan really helped me see a vision for myself for a future in this field. With Cajflow, with Anthony, he is just a dream to work with. He's also like, he's very positive. I did some engineering for him for a while. Very positive. He knows he's sure of what he wants. And that also taught me better of how to collaborate with somebody, because he was so sure. I didn't want to put too much input in as to like veer away from his vision. So it kind of taught me a little bit more of how to collaborate with artists.
Amazing. So you've known Dan for a while then?
Yeah, I've known him for 2 or 3 years. I think 2 years, 3 years maybe now. Yeah.
And you took his class, was that like a public class or was it with a school or you got in via reference or?
Yeah, he just put it out on his Instagram and I guess my partner had been following him and I was just starting to get deeper into production and she was like, oh, you should check this out. This guy's really respected and this will be good for you. And it was at a time where I wasn't really sure that this is something that I wanted to do 100%. I had a career already. And yeah, I just took a chance and that changed everything for me.
Well, so you had a career, so you kind of went all in on music. When did that happen? How was that process?
I'm not 100% all in, but I'm mentally all in. It's hard financially, it's hard to stay stable when, pandemic is a thing.
Of course.
So, but at the beginning of the pandemic, I think I realized that this is 1000% what I want to do. And, yeah, I've been all in since then, kind of. I haven't had a job, so.
Mentally, you're already out the door, you're just working
100%,
there.
100%,
Awesome.
yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. It must be like scary to know that you're going full into your dream, but I guess kind of the more you do it, the more confidence kind of builds up in that.
It is, but it's also scary thinking about my future doing something that isn't 100% benefiting me, but more benefiting somebody else. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to work for somebody for the rest of my life. Not saying that my career now or the career before I had before I decided to go all in wasn't great, because it's given me so much opportunity and people have loved me and, show me love, but it's just, I need to think about my future at this point, Of
course. My next question for you is, what do you think about platforms like Spotify to get local artists out there?
I think it can be a good tool if it's used properly. I think there's a lot of stuff going around right now that is pay to play, which is, not for me. And I don't think that that's beneficial for the artist either. But getting on some of these editorial playlists on Spotify and stuff like that, I think it can be amazing for artists. I've seen artists do extremely well from the city. Yeah, I think it can be great if it's used properly.
Yeah, kind of paired with kind of some social media things and just really getting out there. Yeah, of course. My next question, what is the best piece of advice you have received as an artist that you hold on to today?
somebody else's path is not your path. So, um, just because Kanye did this and it got him to here, it doesn't mean that if I do this, it's going to get me to there. You know what I mean? I
Maybe
can
don't
do
run for president.
facts. I could do the same thing that somebody else did the entire way, but it doesn't mean I'm going to get the same results. So staying true to my path and being authentic and staying true to myself, I think that's the most important thing I've learned.
That's amazing. I also did want to ask about some of your tattoos because I'm curious. Can we see a couple of them?
Yeah. Hang on. How can I show? Oh, that's a bit better. So I have a ship wheel.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
This is the sentence here is kind of part of my name. Or the big saying there. It's kind of part of Mour. One of my best friends passed away when I was young. So his last name is kind of part of my artist name. And then this means a lot to me. It's an hourglass. It says never enough because I never have enough time. I always feel like that. Yeah, I have this apple tattoo back here. Yeah, I have quite a bit. I want to get more.
Yeah.
But pandemic has been hindering that.
True. I've been waiting for things to open up too because I want to go get my first tattoo. And I like the hourglass. That's giving me an idea.
Nice. Yeah, man. Find it. I can send you some artists too if you're into like traditional style or like find out what you're into. I can send you some,
yes, please do.
I can send you some good artists in the city because Toronto is one of the best cities in the world for tattoos. So you're in the right spot.
That's amazing. I'll be really close by, so I could definitely pop in. I definitely know I want to get something lyric inspired by some of my favorite songs. I am nervous though because sometimes artists like get canceled or whatever, so I'm like I need it to be abstract enough
so
that
true.
if this artist gets canceled I don't have to get the tattoo removed.
It's so crazy that like you have to think about that nowadays. Like, can I get this tattooed on me? Is this guy going to be problematic down the road? You know?
I know. So I'm like, hey, well, if it does come out that they're problematic, at least it won't be like directly tied. Like you would only know if you were really, really deep into that artist.
So wild that you have to think about that though. Oh my God.
I know it's crazy, but you know, stranger things have happened. So.
It's true. Stranger things have happened. You're right.
Okay, my last and final question for you. What does the world need to know about LGBT people in the producing industry?
I think people need to not be like afraid of us. I think constantly people think that, you know, we're so different than every other human. And they put us all kind of in a box, like every LGBT person is the same. But, you know, I hate to have to say this, but we're just a normal person. Like we're just a human. We're the same as anybody else, you know? And because I'm gay, that's not my identity. Like I'm not a gay producer. I'm just a producer, you know? So I think people associating, like I don't associate someone's straightness with their career. You know what I mean? So I think associating people's like who they like, associating that with their careers is kind of weird, you know? So that's something that I think should not be a thing anymore.
Of course. No, yeah, you're right. Like, unless like they're kind of actively making it a platform, but even then, like someone's sexuality is no one else's business, you know, it's just their own business. But people love to make it like their right to know, but it's like, no, it's.
Yeah, I've never really understood why, you know, like how I live my life affects anybody else. Unless we're doing personal business together, the way I live my life doesn't affect anybody. It doesn't affect, and if anything, I'm affecting people's life in a positive way because I'm putting good music out there and I'm putting positive vibes out. Like it just doesn't make sense how people butt their nose in that sense where
like other people are so offended by your own existence.
Yeah, like it's not my fault I was born, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I
so
understand.
weird.
There wasn't trauma, you know, we're not like this because of trauma.
That's the thing too. It's like people will say, or my favorite is you haven't met the right man. It's like I've met as many men as any other woman out here. I've met a ton of men. It's not like it doesn't make sense. I haven't met the right man, you know. Things like that. Those are funny.
Oh yeah, those crack me right up.
Unbelievable.
I usually tell people like the old oh well, would you ever marry like some kind of cow or barnyard animal? They're like, no. I'm like, well, maybe you haven't met the right one yet, you know?
Seriously, that's it.
It's
Or
the same.
when people say, when did you know you were gay? Like, when did you know you were straight? What are you talking about, man? It's the same. Use your brain. It's the same thing, you know.
I know, it's crazy.
But humans are humans, and we love to like dislike and like, you know, dismiss things that we don't understand, and that's so weird.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you so much for talking to me today. I was especially excited about this one.
Aw,
I was
damn!
really
Thank you so much.
excited. I was
Thank
like,
you so
I
much.
love queer. I love talking to queer people.
This has been great. Honestly, this like I was expecting something a little bit more like stern, but this like laid back thing is really, I like this. This is a good vibe. So thank you
Oh
for
my
taking the
God, it's
time to
very
do this.
nice.
I appreciate it.
Sing.
Okay, cool.
Just before I leave, I also love that necklace as well, and I want
Thank
one.
you. Thank you. My partner gave this to me. It's an amethyst.
Yes, I know. It's like my favorite. I love the color purple, so I'm just always
Nice.
looking at purple things.
Nice. It was meant to be. Today was meant to be.
Of course. Thank you so much. I hope you
Got
have
you.
a great evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. And I will look out for any of your future music. It was definitely very vibey when I was listening to all of it. I was like, yes, I enjoy this. Very
Thank
good.
you. Thank you so much.
No,
Damn.
no problem. Especially like I read a lot, so any music that's kind of like mixes, like anything like that, I can focus on reading and it's great.
Shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll send you my albums so you can listen to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will do that. You
Okay,
just
cool.
turned your newest biggest fan.
Oh my God, stop. You're gonna make me cry now on camera.
Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank
evening.
you. You too. Bye. Nice meeting you.
Bye.